Living in Vietnam is like dating a sexy, super hot, gorgeous chick. Everything's going great, and you're thinking, I could live with her forever. And then out of the blue, she knifes your motorbike tires and burns your clothes. Today, let me share with you the best and worst about the Vietnamese culture. And stick with me to the end because we're going to get a Chinese perspective and a Vietnamese perspective. We have nature and the weather. I myself am from Wisconsin, and we know a thing or two about snow and freezing cold temperatures. So I love the fact that we don't have to deal with that at all here in the tropics. Not to mention, I'm a beach guy, and I absolutely love the salt water. If you ask me, it cures everything. But overall, Vietnam has the best of what God put on this planet. What can I say? I'm living here for a reason. Finally, let's be honest. The women. The women here are sexy in that I want to take you back home to meet my mother sort of way. They're truly family oriented and the soul of the culture. Enough said. First up, for the worst, we have lack of adventure in some areas. Let me explain. One thing that frustrates me is the hesitancy to step outside of the lines. You know, when you were a kid, coloring books, they're very hesitant to color outside of the line or even think outside of the box, whether it's travel, career choices, or just trying anything new in general. But hey, that's part of the reason why I have a job here. So I can help my students believe in themselves and reach their full potential. Next up, for the worst, we have to talk about government bureaucracy, also known as red tape. My wedding, to get the certificate, took 3 offices, 2 bribes, and a broken printer to get approved. But let's be honest, at this point, red tape is Vietnam's unofficial national sport. But that's just life. And to be fair, you could say that about pretty much any government. So, had to mention it here though. Next up, for the worst, we have customer service priorities. So, most of the time in Vietnam, especially for the smaller businesses, customer is not the king. So, like this one time, I went to buy a helmet. I was the only customer in the store. But the owner, he was busy spraying off mud from the floor like it was a sacred ritual, and he had to do it at that time. I thought, dude, I'm here, my money in hand, ready to pay you. Focus on me, right? It's not even about big gestures. If he'd have thrown in a sticker or offered me a small discount, I'd be recommending his shop to my friends. But no, that's the kind of old school mindset that misses the mark when it comes to customer service here in Vietnam. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around in the video for this long. We have 2 bonuses, which I'll let you decide. Comment below whether it's a negative or a positive. I guess it kind of depends on your perspective, but let's get into it. So, number 1 bonus would be traffic as a newcomer. So when I first moved to Vietnam, I didn't drive, of course. I have a Kawasaki ZX69 back home, but of course I didn't take her here. So at first I'm walking everywhere, no big deal, until one night I'm walking back to my shitty hotel and a pack of motorbikes swarmed the sidewalk like it was the Grand Prix. I was pissed. I was like, can I just walk on the sidewalk? But now I get it. Motorbikes are Somo number 1, numero uno, and the sidewalks are just part of the flow of traffic. And I even do it myself sometimes. It's not about being rude, it's about survival and getting home. Once you've lived here a while, you'll see the method to the madness. And honestly, it works. Bonus number 2, similar to the last one, but it's the freedom of the motorbike. Ironically, one of the best things about Vietnam is its craziest. motorbikes. Sure, the traffic in Ho Chi Minh City is brutal, but once you understand its organized chaos, it's the ultimate freedom. You see a lane, you take it. Kind of like in Cars 3, you see a window, you take it. Not in a racing, race Grand Prix sort of way, like you're trying to win the race. It's more about the flow of traffic and efficiency. And if you don't take the lane, honestly, you're kind of screwing up the flow of the traffic. All right, guys, that's my take on the best and worst parts of Vietnamese culture. I've lived here for 7 years, and I'm curious. What do you guys think? What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? I didn't mention food because it's a little bit overplayed at this point, so I wanted to get into some deeper, maybe next level aspects of the Vietnamese culture. So comment below and like, consider subscribing, and most importantly, share Fam Trip with anyone that you think would enjoy this cultural, family travel, dog type content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. What do you think, Bulu, about about my list?
Have you ever sent me the
You
list
didn't hear? God damn it!
about your experience in the helmet store? I think they did that to you because you are just white. As the Asian, they couldn't tell me. They couldn't tell if I am Vietnamese, local
That's a
Vietnamese.
good point. Yeah, they don't know.
From other.
You could pass for Vietnamese.
For 2 years being in Vietnam, I never got really bad service.
Interesting. And to be fair, like I don't think in general, like I mentioned before, I don't think Vietnamese are racist in general, but it happens, of course. But
Because you were with a Vietnamese wife.
and they don't approve. Some don't approve of that, right? Because they think I'm taking advantage of the cost of living or something like that.
You just have two styles. So
I got the
which
medium.
style you-
Don't spray me with dirty water.
So don't come back to that store again.
Well, I
That's it.
won't. I'm just saying. Can you not see the? This is just an example
Mm-hmm.
of how Vietnamese people or culture, they don't really.
If you call this is a culture, you must have experienced similar things many times in other places. Can you say name another experience?
Yes.
In Vietnam?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So another table will order the hot pot.
Yeah.
And then I just want one more beer.
Uh-huh.
They don't give a shit about me. I'm still a customer, right? So they're like focus on
Who pays?
Who
more?
pay more?
which is okay, that's fine to a certain extent, but it's like I'm still a customer, I'm still paying money, and I drink a lot of beer. So that's another example. But once again, I agree with you. I don't want someone following me around.
Like
say-
they think you are being there taking advantage. Like you drink a lot of beer but didn't really order enough dishes to make them enough profit.
Yes.
Yeah, that exactly.
Now I found the point.
Yeah,
You need
yeah,
to find
that's a
the
good point.